Welcome to Mud, Sweat and Gears. Mud, Sweat and Gears coverage this week is of round 5 of the MSA South African Off-Road Championship, with the Makrib 400 taking car category competitors into Northwest Province. Race headquarters were in Mafikeng, with the event highlighted by the debut of Nissan's new Class T Challenger and the off-road debut of multiple circuit racing champion Geniel de Villiers. Under the new format in operation in off-road racing this season, there was no bike or quad category competitors, with the car brigade gearing up for an event that promised to be both fast and dusty. It's the Makrib 400 off-road race. The Tusk Hotel Complex in Mabathu was like an oasis in a dry Northwest Province. Hosting a national off-road event was a major boost for Northwest Province and Mafikeng.
This event was initially the brainchild of the Mafikeng Motor Club, who approached both Makrib and Tusk Mabathu for sponsorship. Both companies were very excited for the prospect of hosting this event, because not only would it provide public awareness for both Tusk Mabathu and Makrib, but also for the Mafikeng area as a whole.
There's a relaxed and easygoing atmosphere to life in Northwest Province, but an invasion of race officials, competitors and service crew, media and off-road enthusiasts would bring with it major financial benefits for the region.
We are very happy because it is going to increase the spin-off revenue in our province and improve the motor industry. And above all, our youth would also be initiated and be encouraged to take part in this sport.
Leading the Special Vehicle Drivers and Navigators Championships after 4 rounds were Shamir Variawa and Bucks Carolyn. Nel was only 10 points adrift of Variawa, with former South African champion Carolyn holding a comfortable lead over Tracy van Vuren among the co-drivers. A set of circumstances saw to it that the Variawa-Carolyn combination was split up for the Mabathu 400.
Shamir was going to go overseas on Wednesday night and I didn't have a drive, and I put my name out as rent-a-nav, and John said to me, please, I'll come with him at the race, so here I am. Ready to race, hoping we'll do well. This is my old car, so it's the first time I'm ever going to sit in this seat. I've never sat in this seat, so we'll see. He's a bit of a hot foot, so we'll find out how good he is and how good I still am. I don't know. I'm getting old. You can see my teeth are getting a bit long.
Former motorcycle stars Neil Woolrich and Kenny Schuldhammer led the production vehicle category in the factory Mitsubishi Pajero. The pair took to Mabathu 3 wins in 4 starts to lead Nissan pair Hannah Squabler and Richard Leake, with only a handful of points separating the 3 crews chasing after Woolrich and Schuldhammer. There was huge interest in the debut of the new state-of-the-art Nissan to be driven by Squabler and Leake, but for the championship leaders, race tactics centered around consolidating their championship lead.
Well, obviously we want to win the race, but we want to win the championship is the most important thing for us. So we'll push as hard as we can, but we definitely won't go too hard and break the car, or anything like that. It's a championship what we're looking for at the end of the day.
Competition between manufacturers is now intense in off-road racing, with Nissan running 4 factory-backed vehicles. The Makrib 400 saw Nissan unveil their high-tech Nissan hardbody Challenger in Class T, with motorsport manager Glenn Hall providing the background information.
The engine's been moved back actually nearly a metre, not the full regulations, and there's 2 reasons for that. One is to improve the balance of the vehicle, and probably the most important is to give us some room in the front to get all the extra suspension travel that we need for these off-road conditions. So it's made it pretty cramped in here. As you can see, we had to move the steering to the left. That was because we've got the engine slightly to the right, because the prop shaft goes down very close to the engine. But Hannes, they're going to have to get used to that. I don't think it's too much of a problem. As per the standard hard body, we've got double wishbones, but they're a lot longer than they are in the standard vehicle. And we must, of course, keep the standard chassis intact. as per the regulations. So one wishbone goes underneath the chassis and the other on top. We've got 2 shock absorbers per side, one to carry the spring and the other one really as a pure damper, which is very big, nearly 3 inches in diameter. The rear suspension, again, standard live axle like the hard body, but we took away the leaf springs because we wanted a lot of extra travel, and we ended up with a 3-link rear suspension, which is not usual, but during our designs we think that was the best. Again, we've got 2 shock absorbers, one to carry the spring and another 3-inch one for the damping, and that really takes care of the rear end.
The Nissan hardbody immediately showed its potential. The hugely experienced Hannes Grobler and Richard Leaker, both former South African off-road and rally champions, and romped away with the pre-event speed trial, which determined start positions for the McGrib 400.
Well, it's unbelievable. We didn't thought we were going to do that well. It's the first time out for the vehicle. We didn't have a lot of time in the seat yet with the left-hand drive and also with the vehicle testing. But the guys did a marvelous job to do the vehicle in the short time. And we're very happy to be in the front. The only problem is that tomorrow we won't know how far the guys are behind us and what pace they're driving. So, but also for them it's going to be hard because they're going to probably have to come through my dust to catch me if they want to pass me.
Championship leaders Neil Woolridge and Kenny Scholthammer posted the 3rd fastest time in the speed trial. The phlegmatic Woolridge was quite happy to be cast in an early follow-my-leader role.
I quite like to follow rather than lead, so I'm not too fussed about that. I think the dust is going to be a bit of a problem early tomorrow morning. I think the dust will hang a while, but I don't mind dust too much either. It's not too serious.
Reigning South African champions Avi Reiniger and Robin Halton in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser were looking for a boost for their championship hopes. As far as Reiniger was concerned, the big problem would be the expected dusty conditions.
With the dust tomorrow, I think there's going to be a problem for the cars. The first car is going to have a huge advantage with the dust. He's going to pull a couple of minutes before the second and third car. We would go as fast as we can, but also stay on the road, because once you leave the road here, it's a lot of rocks and ditches, can damage your car, and that's going to cost you very seriously.
The Mitsubishi Colt factory team has joined the manufacturer's battle going on in off-road racing and recruited rally ace Enzo Kuhn. The Mabatu event also produced fresh ideas from the Colt squad.
We had a problem in the front diff coming adrift every 200 or so kilometers, and we had to refabricate the mounting bracket at the diff. It seems like the front suspension takes a beating on these vehicles. You end up jumping, coming down on the front wheels, and you know the whole momentum gets transferred from the front, so the diff takes a knock. And but we put a new bracket in there. We wanting to try it. This is our development year, so going forward.
Circuit racing stock Anil de Villiers has dominated the Banken Touring Car Championship in recent seasons, but now there was a change of environment for the young Cape driver. To ease him into it, Nissan snapped up veteran rally and off-road champion Piet Swanepoel.
My secret weapon went very, very well today. I'm actually very impressed. And, you know, if it hadn't been for the fact that I know it's his first time on dirt, I don't think I would have been as nervous as I was. He's actually very quick on the dirt, needs obviously to learn to read the road properly and to brake a little bit earlier, because on dirt you don't stop as quickly as you do on tar, but very impressive, and I think we'll go a long way.
We'll be back with all the mud, sweat and gears of the McGrib 400. Mud, sweat and gears of the McGrib 400 off-road race.
In the first section of the route, about a third of the route is nice open territory. The guys will pick up a lot of speed there. There are a couple of sections that are very tight and cornering, a lot of turns and U-turns in the route. The second half of the route gets a little bit more technical. There's a lot of rock, there's some hilly country. There's a certain spot for about 2.5 k's that the guys are really going to battle. They're going to need crutches or something to help them get through there. And then the last section is nice and open through farmland. We've got 1 or 2 mealie thrown in just to remind them of certain of the other races that we have in the area. And towards the finish, nice and open, and they can make sure of a good finish.
A bonus for off-road competitors is that they get to see some marvellous African bush sunrises. You need something to compensate for the early morning starts that are a feature of off-road racing, and it was a chilly band of officials, competitors, service crew and enthusiasts who braved the early morning cold for the start on the outskirts of Mafikeng.